Hi guys, JB and Minot here, and these are my pickups for the month of July 2021. Let's go ahead and get started. My only PS4 game, Ghosts of Tsushima. I waited till this was about $39 at GameStop, brand new. There it is, there's a sticker. This is supposedly an open world game. It's gotten all kinds of accolades. It even came out with a director's cut, which I didn't wait for, but I gotta start playing this soon. Now the rest of these are Nintendo Switch games. Here we go. Neo, The World Ends With You. This is a sequel to the classic DS game, The World Ends With You. The gameplay is different. You move, I believe, on the top screen, and you use your stylus on the bottom screen to beat enemies. And what happens is, you're basically in modern Japan, Tokyo, and it's got still a funky, kind of soundtrack. I think they think they're still in the 1990s. But anyway, you collect all these pins, you fight the enemies, the bad guys, and what powers you have depends on what pin you're carrying at the time. And you collect pins, and it's basically turned into an action RPG type. It's pretty fun. Beautiful game. Okay, this is a collection of a bunch of, I think a trilogy of prequels that came out for Phoenix Wright. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Okay. Tanuki Justice is basically your beat 'em up. I got this from Gamefly. Now this is one of the funniest video games I've ever played. Trover Saves the Universe. It's not for kids. It's got a lot of bad language in it, and but it's from Limited Run. I bought it from Best Buy. You're basically controlling this little purple alien type, and you're going around solving problems, trying to save the universe because of whatever. And he's a third person. And what you're doing is you're a video game player, and you're watching him on the screen, but that video game player is controlling him. It's a very unique mechanic, but it's a puzzle game pretty much. Mixed between a puzzle game and an action game. Panzer Paladin. You play as this, I don't know if it's a Metroidvania. It's a platformer where you're riding in this robot, in this big giant cyborg mechanic robot, and you can leave the robot once in a while to get through certain areas. And in some areas you have to be in the robot to get through. But I got this from I got this from Best Buy as well, I believe. Here's an El Cheapo racing game, off-road racing, buggy versus ATV versus moto. I got it for 15 bucks at GameStop. It's pretty good. This is a oh shoot, you know what? I've got to take off the sticker to one of my games here. But I got them both from, there we go. These games are from Best Buy via Limited Run. And a remake of the original Shantae for the Game Boy Color. This one's for the Switch. And I could have gotten the original color version a long time ago, Game Boy Color. But now it costs almost 90 bucks. Or $100 to get it for some reason. But it's a great game, from what I understand. I know that I love the Shantae games, but they can be a lot more difficult than they look. Shantae, Ruby's Revenge. Very colorful games. This, I believe, this is also from Limited Run via Best Buy. This is can be a multiplayer combat game. Kind of like, looks like Super Smash Brothers with arrows. There's that tower fall. Here's a space shooter, Curved Space. You're basically around this little area. You're stuck around this one area, and you just fly around shooting enemies that come at you. It's a space defense game, but it's kind of hard to explain. But you're not traveling around the planet. You're traveling around this cone area where you go into the cone, it turns you upside down. It's very strange to explain, but it's just basically a shooter. Not much to really to it, really. Here's what could be a unique game. I haven't played it very much, but so far it's kind of boring so far. It really hasn't been too much for the mechanic, but the Chris Tales. And the gimmick with Chris Tales is you're this young lady who's trying to save the future. And what it is you can fight enemies. It's an RPG, action RPG. Actually it's a turn-based RPG, but you run into enemies randomly, and you're going around this world. And what's going on is you can fight the enemies. You can either switch to the future or the past, and it gives you an advantage. Some enemies, if you switch to the future, they're so old they can't fight anymore, so it makes them easier to fight. Or some enemies, you go to the past, you bring them to the past, and it makes them untrained. And you can use that mechanic, but for the most part, most of the enemies I've confronted, and it's only been a couple hours or two, it's a beautiful game, beautiful hand-drawn game, absolutely gorgeous. But most of the enemies I've encountered, you can basically not use the future-past dynamic. But when you do use it, it's a great idea. It's just you don't use it very much in here, and it's not really exciting to me so far. Maybe once I get a little further into it, I'll be able to say different. Samurai Warriors 5. The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. This is a remake, of course, from the old Wii game. What they should do is they should bring Twilight Princess to it. That would be great, too. In fact, they should bring a lot of them. Have a good Zelda collection, like from the GameCube. And they are, I think they already brought the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. So they really don't need those for the Switch. But they'll probably do that anyway. They're even trying to bring Ocarina's Mask. Not Ocarina's Mask, but Ocarina's Mask. Majora's Mask and the Ocarina of Time since the Switch came out. So even though Hotline Miami collection. These are a collection of Hotline Miami games. I didn't know there was more than one. But you're basically this chicken going around from room to room shooting up bad guys. Monster Jam, Steel Titans 2. Your basic Monster Jam type racing game. Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. This is the one where you get to fly on a beast, and they really love the flying mechanic. Okay, Mario Golf Super Rush. These are always fun games. It's a Mario Golf game, of course. And Ys Monstrum Nox Packed Edition. It's a Ys game. You got Ys 9 Monstrum Nox. It's the newest Ys game, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, guys, those are my pickups for the month of July. So far now, because of it, my collection is now up to 653 games. So this is hopefully kill your time, a few minutes of your time this weekend. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend, and God bless. And stay in God bless. Bye-bye.